We recently released our AREN ONE, which is our newest line of IWB geared towards new gun owners. It's a very simple, straightforward holster. It is very affordable, and we built it to be basic. So it's a black holster. It comes with a couple choices of clips, and it comes with a mod wing. So nothing super fancy, nothing crazy, and it's just straightforward, ready to go out of the box. So what I wanted to do for science is buy holsters in other holster brands that were a similar style to our AREN ONE. So something that was black, came with a metal clip, and came with some sort of wing. So after browsing Instagram and Facebook and YouTube for a couple of weeks, I bought 4 holsters based on the brands that I saw the most advertisements for. So we are going to be talking about Eclipse holsters, Tolster, Vetter, and We the People. Now I bought all of these for the same exact gun. I bought it for the Glock 48 with an optic cut, and they are all exactly the same. They have a mod wing or a wing of such, and they have a metal clip, whether that's the monoblock or if it's a company specific metal clip. We're going to basically talk about these holsters in the class that compares to the AREN ONE and whether we think they're good or not, and whether I would spend my own money on them. So don't take this video as a we are the best holster, although I'm biased, so I do think that our holster is exceptional, but this isn't like a, oh, buy our holster, like we're gonna shit on everything, buy our holster. I wanted to genuinely compare holsters that I had never experienced before to tell you, if you are in the market for a holster that has this kind of features, what we would personally recommend if you're not gonna purchase from us. Because being realistic, we don't offer your gun, or maybe you don't align with our brand. There's lots of brands out there that make good products. There's lots of brands out there that make not so good products. So we're going to compare them and give you our feedback as somebody that has been doing this for the last 6 years on where we'd put our money. So we're gonna start with the Eclipse holsters. This is their Intrepid custom IWB. It is for a Glock 48. It comes with a mod wing, which they brand the Delta wing, yeah. And then it comes with a monoblock. This was $79.99 with $12.95 shipping, with a grand total of $92.94. Now, one thing that they promote is that their orders ship really fast, and I did get this really fast. So I placed my order on June 15th, and if I remember correctly,
it was delivered on the 7th.
On the 18th. So we got it made and shipped within 3 days. So that is exceptionally fast. But there's some things not so great about it. Now we're going to talk about what is good and what could be better, and we're going to compare them to our AREN ONE and how we do things, because companies do things differently, but there is, in some ways, a fundamental way to do certain things if you want to do them the right way. So we're going to go over those. So first of all, plain black, the fitment right off the bat, it's not that good. When I put my Glock 48 in the holster, immediately it starts to rub. If you come in here and look at this. So the front of the Kydex that's above the clip is actually rubbing on the serrations of the gun. And then when I put it in, it was doing this thing where it was kind of pushing my gun out of battery. It doesn't seem to be doing that. But in terms of fitment, we have a lot of this, a lot of rock up and down. We have a lot of rock back and forth, and then we have a lot of movement this way. So if you look, I mean, you can just look at the holster and see that the forming is not the greatest. And this might be the way the actual holster was formed in terms of definition, or it could be how their actual mold is dimensioned. So if you look at this, look at the front of the holster. So you can see here, there's all this extra room around the muzzle of the gun, which allows it to rock in all different kinds of directions. So based on my personal opinion, the reason that is like that is because, one, either their mold is not dimensioned correctly and the two halves of the gun are too far apart, which is actually, when they fold it, it's causing it to bow out this way, and then it's being closed by the retention wings here. It's weird because there's all that extra space, but when I put the gun in the holster, it actually it rubs all the way in. So I think when it was folded, based on my personal opinion, they probably squeezed it too much, and then the combination of it being squeezed and maybe not being dimensioned correctly, we just don't really have that good fitment. What they did do, the finish on the edges is pretty nice. I don't really have any complaints there. There's no like super sharp edges that would poke me or make anything uncomfortable. It has a full sweat shield. The trigger guard coverage is really nice. You're not getting anything in there. Definition on the holster could be better, in my opinion. That would probably improve the fit as well. If you come in here, you can see like in these angles here, like in the corner of the trigger guard, how it's not as vacuumed down here. Just the definition isn't that great, but it's not that bad either. The biggest zonk, and personally I think this is criminal, is this. You see this? This is just borderline stupid, respectfully. So the reason this is happening is because they didn't put the proper hardware to put the mod wing on. So the mod wing is a pretty industry standard piece that was created by Andrew Henry and Index Thermoplastics. And if companies follow Andrew Henry's installation protocol, which would make sense because he made the part, if I had to put money, I'm going to unscrew this and there's no eyelets under here. You got to have some type of friction washer or some type of eyelet to keep this from moving, because the only thing that's holding this on is the retention screws. And the problem there is, if you want loose retention, you have a loose wing. So if I screw this down, now it doesn't move at all. But now the retention on the holster is super tight. And then on the flip side, if I like to run my gun a little looser, so
let's back this all the way out and then screw it in.
Now we're back to this. Now for me personally, that feels like a comfortable draw outside of the waistband. It's going to feel different inside the waistband, but if I'm just testing just this feels good. But we have all of this flop, and that's not good. Another thing that I noticed is on the back of the holster, the actual thread engagement from the screws in the post is almost non-existent. So in my opinion, I would say they probably used not the right sized hardware for this specific setup. So if you wanted your holster even looser than that, the problem is you can't do it because there's so little thread engagement. If I unscrew it, my screw is now free spinning. So I'm kind of limited in terms of my adjustments because I have to keep it tight enough to be engaged with the post and hold the wing on. But if I go too tight, then the holster's too tight, so I'm kind of stuck. If they used longer hardware, like on our AREN ONE, we have full thread engagement on the screws in the post, and we did this on purpose. One, so they would be harder to back out, even if you're not using the thread locker. And two, you have maximum adjustment on the retention, and because we have eyelets under our wing, no matter how loose you make this, this is never going to move. So zoom in on here. You can see the back of our AREN ONE. We have full thread engagement on the threads of the screw and the post. So when I put the gun in there, it has that good solid retention, and then you can adjust it looser or tighter, and you're not going to have any issues of not having enough screw or having too much. If I unscrew this all the way, this is the Eclipse. There's no eyelets here. So there's no friction washer, there's no eyelets, there's nothing from keeping the wing from moving. And that's why it moves around like a floppy fish. Monoblock, it's a monoblock. It's made by Discrete Carry Concepts. It's a great clip. No like real issues there. I would say the same thing if I'm being super picky, which I'm going to be on all of these, that the thread engagement on the clip is not that great either. So those are probably most likely, in my opinion, going to back out, but just apply thread locker. But in my personal opinion, for $95, I would not spend my money here. I did spend my money here as a regular customer in comparison, but I wouldn't do it again. So that's Eclipse. And the sweat shield is really high and it rides my optic, but that's fine. All right, moving on. Tolster. This is their, what is this? Their Profile Plus. So they have a Profile series, and then the Profile Plus is OptiCut. So this is the Profile Plus. I have notes behind my camera. This was $84.98, but they had a 20% off summer sale, which took off 14 bucks, but then they charged me $10.32 to ship it, $5.69 in tax, and it cost me a whopping $86.99. It is a plain black holster with a monoblock, and their wing is their little sidekick thing here. It's a 3M adhesive piece that they created after the fact to put on the trigger guard here, which is totally legit. I understand, being a manufacturing company, that you're not going to redo all of your tooling just so you can create like a typical style wing. So they had adapted a solution that worked for them with their sidekick. So you just stick it there on the trigger guard and it'll act like a mod wing or any type of concealment device. So I have no qualms with that. I haven't personally used it, but I have seen good feedback. Fit and finish, the definition on this is fantastic. It looks really nice. It is a little shiny, but I think they might use Boltaron, which is naturally has a little bit more sheen to it. Edges are nice and smooth. Trigger guard is nice and covered when I put the firearm in. It does have adjustable cant of the clip. The Eclipse does as well, just 2 holes, so you can angle the clip. The Eclipse also has a vertical mount if you want to change the clip. I didn't mention that. But no ride height on either of these, no ride height on the AREN ONE, just adjustable cant. The definition on the Tolster is really nice. Everything looks really clean. Edges look really nice. Whoever buffed this did a great job. Fitment wise, we have total sweat shield coverage, total trigger coverage. The cut shape is really nice to get your hand on it. And then it fits just like ours would fit. Honestly, I am so anal to the point of annoyance. If you ask my employees in R&D what it is to build a holster mold with me, they probably would tell you that they want it themselves sometimes. But this fits really nice. There's no rocking in any direction. There's no back and forth on the trigger. It doesn't rub on anything. It goes in nice and smooth until it hits the retention indent, and then it creates that wall that when you break, it snaps over the trigger guard. I have no complaints in terms of the fit. If I had to zonk it, it'll just be thread. So threads on the screws, not a whole lot there. I don't know why. Is it hard to use, just properly used like sized hardware? I'm not sure. But other than that, I think it's cool that they laser or they CNC their logo and the model on the back of the holster. So if you have a bunch of different holsters or you carry different guns at certain times, you can just look at your holster and know what gun it is for. They have a monoblock. In my opinion, that is the best metal clip on the market. And it does have adjustable cant, so you can angle it. Yeah, this is a very nice holster. For $86.99, and that's on sale. So if I do quick math, without a sale, we're looking at over 100 bucks, compared to our AREN ONE, which is going to fit just about the same, have a little bit of different features. It's priced at $72.99, so we're like 20, I don't know, we'll do a calculation here on the screen because I'm not good at mental math. Now I will say, don't know if I said it before, I'm not looking at these holsters in terms of performance, if they're comfortable, if they conceal. I am strictly looking at fit, function, and features of the holster in comparison to our AREN ONE. But the Tolster gets an A+ from me. Next we have a Vetter. This is their light tuck. This costed me $84.98 with $6.67 in tax and $10.36 in shipping for a grand total of $102.01. So comparatively to our AREN ONE, it's math chart like 30 bucks more for the same type of features. We have a plain black holster with a metal clip. This does have adjustable ride height, which is the first holster so far that has adjustable ride height. Our AREN ONE does not have that. But this has adjustable ride height, it has a wing, it has a full sweat shield, it's optic cut, and that's about it. Just like the Eclipse, unfortunately I noticed this. Why is this so hard? Can we fix this, guys? So, which is unfortunate because when I look in the holster, they even have a peg on the wing to stop it from moving, but because the wing is contingent on how tight the retention screw is, it still wobbles back and forth. In terms of fit, it fits pretty good. There's no movement back and forth, really good there. There's no movement side to side. There's no real movement front to back of the trigger guard. So fitment wise, like fitting the holster, it fits really well. It goes in smooth. Same thing with the Tolster. It breaks that retention gap here, snaps into place. Edges are really nice. They're shiny. Most of these are matte. We buff ours matte as well, but these are shiny, which that's just a preference thing in terms of aesthetics. It looks really nice. It's going to be just as comfortable. Yeah, so there's this issue, and I can fix that issue. Same thing with the Eclipse holster. If I tighten this, it doesn't move as much. Oh boy. So now my threads are poking out of the back of the holster. It still moves a tiny bit, but if I put my gun in there, gonna be the Incredible Hulk to draw this. So that's the biggest sonk. Just finding a way to attach your wing with additional hardware, a couple of pieces, a couple of cents, to improve the overall experience for the customer, which is what we try to do on all of our holsters. So this compared to this, it's not moving at all. So that's just a hardware thing. The clip, it's metal clip. It is a vertically mounted clip, which really functions exactly the same. It's just, I don't even know. It's not really a preference thing, it's just a mounting thing. It functions the same, it puts the gun in the same location, and then you can adjust the ride height as you see fit. Trigger guard coverage is good. Sweat shield is good. Like I said, the edges are really nice. Definition could be better, but it fits fine as well, so it's more of a aesthetics thing. At that point, our definition on all of our holsters is very nice, very clean, crisp, straight lines. That's the way we like it, that's the way we want it, and I think it adds to the overall fit and function of the product. But yeah, the Vetter at 102 bucks. There's a couple things that could be improved, but I mean, it's pretty nice. Then we have We the People, which is the most advertised company in the world. I am so tired of seeing these, and no matter how many times I choose stop seeing this ad, I still see their ads. I'm a dumbass though, and I accidentally bought a non-optic cut holster because they had their optic cut holsters and their non-optic cut holsters as two different products, and I didn't see that when I was ordering. So people make mistakes, and this is what it is. I have to live with it. So instead of testing this with my optic cut holster here, because that's not going to work, I'm just going to pop off my Glock 48 slide. I have a Glock 43 slide here, which is the same things dimensionally. It's just a different length. So right off the bat, honestly, definition is pretty solid. The fit, it fits fits pretty good, actually. There's no rock up and down. There's no rock side and side. There's a little bit of movement like here, which would probably indicate that this dimension between their trigger retention area and the edge of the trigger guard is too wide on their mold. So on our AREN ONE, it doesn't move at all. The Tolster doesn't move at all. So just a little thing there, a little bit of a overall fit thing. The sight channel is obnoxiously tall, and I don't know why. Our holsters are built for 0.35 inch suppressor height sights, which they go up to like 0.455, but those are like super obnoxious and not a lot of people run those. This is like just look at this. This is so tall. I could rent out the airspace above my slide. So it doesn't affect the fitment of the holster. It just makes the holster unnecessarily wide, in my opinion. But it still works. Because it's not OptiCut, it covers some of the back sight, which I actually kind of like. I mean, it is what it is. I forgot to talk about the price. Wait till you get a load of this. All right, so
the We the People.
So the holster was $59.99. This has a plastic clip, but they have an optional metal clip to upgrade. This was $25. $25. So the monoblock, which in my opinion and probably a lot of other people's opinions, is the best metal clip on the market. It is widely adapted by all of the big companies, and it just does its job. You can buy the monoblock on Discreet Carry Concepts website for $5. This should be illegal to charge $25 for this, but let's see if it's worth $25. I mean, it does feel good, but I don't know, $25 in my opinion is a little diabolical. I got sidetracked. So holster $59.99, clip was $25. It doesn't come with a wing, but you can buy one, and the holster claw was 18 bucks. They were having a Father's Day sale. That's when I bought this, so I saved $20.59. The subtotal was $82.40, $7 shipping, Indiana tax of $6.26 for a grand total of $95.66 for a black holster with a metal clip and a claw. $72.99. So if I take this off, let's take the plastic clip off. Also, I don't know if anyone else sees this, but every time I look at this holster clip, I just see the Chomp Chomp from Mario, like the face. We'll put a picture of it somewhere on the screen. I don't know, it makes me laugh. This does have a adjustable ride height built into the clip, and there's a couple of mounting holes on the holster itself, and you can adjust the cant and all that smooth jazz. So if I replace,
let's see, this comes with different hardware. Yes. So because the clip is thicker than the plastic clip,
they want you to switch out the retentions or the washers underneath. So these are 1/4 inch, these are 3/16 inch. It's pretty standard, that's what we use.
And then, oh baby, we're looking fancy now. Shaking like I have Parkinson's. All right, so then, son of a bitch. So it appears, let's see, let me verify, I'm not special needs. Yeah, I think whoever,
like the drill holes are slightly too far apart. Anyways, here's the metal clip. It's a $25 metal clip. It'll do the job. The claw kit, I'm not even going to put this together because it looks just, I just
don't want to put this on. Yummy. But we have, let's see.
Kind of like the mod wing, we have the claw attachment itself that attaches here. And then we have two different types of risers. We have one really small one and then one that is 5 times as thick, which is, personally, that doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. That's a very aggressive difference, but that'll go on there like this. Guess it'll have different ride height adjustments. It'll probably work. No, actually, I have to put this on. I lied. We gotta see if it moves.
Okay, we're doing it live. Oh, see this? That's a friction washer. We the people knows what they're doing. Just, where's the holster? Right here. All right, so we're gonna use this. I'm gonna use my brain here. I'm not gonna read instructions because I'm smarter than that. Maybe. Yeah, this is my post. Are there instructions for this? Okay. No. All right, there's no instructions on how to put this on.
So, that's good. Science would tell me that I put this double post through this hole, but I can see, if you see this, I can see that this hole wasn't actually deburred. It's also not the right size, so I can't get that in there. All right, we're gonna go drill a bigger hole so I can put the wing on.
I need a deburr tool. All right, let's try this.
All right, I'll put the post back in with the retention screw. If they would just put this on for us, that'd be really nice. So for 18 bucks, you gotta own a holster company to drill your own hole. And so far, we're having the best results. So now the retention is on the back, which is actually a good way to do this. So the retention is not tied to the wing, except the post is too small and it's free spinning. So if I want to make this tighter, the whole post is spinning. See that? How the washer is jerking? So I can't really go any tighter than that. Yeah, so I've bottomed out both sides of the post. I mean, it's tight enough, but if you wanted it tighter, oh well. Here's my wing attachment. Ta-da! So my black holster with my $25 metal clip and my $18 wing, which it doesn't move, so I'll give them that. The metal friction washer, crush washer, whatever the hell you want to call it, is a good touch. That was necessary, and they took the extra steps to give it to you. So that's a win in my book. I did find the instructions for the We the People wing thing. It fell on the floor, and I did assemble it correctly. So if you look at this, we have the retention screw, spacer, double post, crush washer, wing, screw. That's what I did. I still had to drill my own hole. So if we recap, our AREN ONE, simple, straightforward black holster, metal clip included, no extra price. The mod wing is included, no extra price. I should say that the Eclipse charged me $10 extra for the Delta wing. The Tolster, I know the Sidekick was extra money. How much extra money? The Sidekick was $14.99 for that. The Vetter is included. The Vetter did charge me $5 to make the holster optic cut though. Oh no. So yeah, so Vetter charged me $5 to make the holster optic cut, and they charged me $9.99 for the claw. So the AREN ONE, all of our holsters, every holster on our website is optic cut, $0 upcharge. The metal clip is a $0 upcharge, and the mod wing is a $0 upcharge. So Eclipse holster is $92.94. Tolster was $86.99. We the People was $95.66, and the Vetter was $102. and 1 cent. $72.99, ships in 3 business days or less. This isn't a video, like the purpose of this video wasn't to say like our holster is the best holster. Obviously we are biased, we own a company, we want you to buy our products. But there are a lot of companies that make really good products out there, and just because you don't buy from us, we wanted to showcase some options in which you can buy from. So if we do a recap of this fitment testing real quick, I'm gonna put my slide back on here. This is Eclipse. This is the Tolster. That's nice. The Vetter. But we have this. So there's that. And the We the People. Well, let's do mine. So the AREN ONE. And the We the People. Fitment wise is actually pretty solid. So those were options that we found via Google and Instagram ads that were similar to our AREN ONE in terms of features and style. The Eclipse for $95, just the poor fitment. I mean, this, in my opinion, comparatively to how we like to do things at Hilliker Holster Co., this is not up to the standard of fit and finish that I would expect for $92.94. The Tolster, this is a great holster. I have no problems paying $87 for this. It's still, well, that was on sale, so this would be like over $100, which is still $30-ish more than our AREN ONE, but it is a good quality holster. The Vetter was over $100. This is good. There's some things that could be improved. Compared to our AREN ONE, it's still $30 more. But if they make a holster for your gun and you like their branding and all that stuff, like you could buy this holster and it would be just fine for you. The We the People is fine, actually. I mean, We the People naturally, people say, feels cheap. It does kind of feel cheap, but the fitment is good. Like the overall gun fitment, I don't know how all this stuff performs because we're not measuring performance. We're just doing fit and finish. That being said, for what this is, for $95.66, I would expect maybe a little bit better user experience. I am just a regular person. I own a holster company. I've been developing and making holsters for the last 6 years. So myself and our internal R&D team just try to make a high quality product, fit as best as we can possibly make it fit, because we understand that spending your own money on stuff is a big deal, and especially in today's world with today's economy, these things are expensive. And we designed the AREN ONE because we don't think that being able to safely protect yourself and your family and the people around you should cost you over $100. So this is priced at $72.99, so it is the cheapest. All of the add-ons are free. Yeah, so our AREN ONE, like I said, obviously we own a company. We want you to buy our products, but you don't have to buy our products. I'm not, at the end of the day, I really do want people to be able to carry a firearm comfortably and safely and protect those around us. So I don't care if you buy our holster, frankly. Those that like our brand and believe in our products and like the stuff we make will buy our products, and there's a lot of people that don't, and that's totally fine. If you're going to buy a different brand, buy something that is actually good. So in my personal opinion, out of all 4 of these holsters, the only ones that I would be comfortable buying are the Tolster and the Vetter for the price, comparatively to ours. That's just my opinion. That's my experience based on how it was today. Everyone has a different experience or different needs or likes, whatever. But yeah, just for what you pay for, some of them aren't there. So this isn't meant to ruffle any feathers. I'm just trying to inform people on what's out there compared to what we make. And let us know what you think. What do you carry? Do you have a Hilliker holster? Do you carry one of these four? And what were your opinions and experiences like with those holster brands? If you have any feedback for us, let us know. Hit up our customer service at info@hillikerholsterco.com. And I'm sure we will see you in the comment section. Bye. Well, reputation, yeah, fuck. 1 second. Somebody in there? How long you been in there?
Like 10 minutes?
No.
Hopefully you can hear it on camera.
You just listen to me talk the whole time?
Yeah.
We can put all this in the video. One of my employees was taking a shit.